Imagine this. 40,000 years ago, a hunter carefully stirs a stew laced with enough poison to kill a mammoth. But it's not for his prey. He's cooking it for himself. And he's not alone. Across continents and millennia, our ancestors risked paralysis, hallucinations, even death, just to savor a toxic meal. Why would they crave something that could destroy them? The answer rewrites everything you know about human survival. Deep inside Iraq's Shanidar Cave, famous for its Neanderthal graves, archaeologists sift through ash layers. From 45,000 years ago, they find something bizarre. Burnt seeds of the deadly nightshade plant. Not scattered but concentrated. Like someone deliberately harvested poison berries and tossed them into their campfire. This isn't a fluke. From Peruvian burial sites with toxic frog residue in ceremonial pots, to African caves lined with paint made from lethal euphorbia sap, our ancestors weren't accidentally consuming toxins. They were ritualizing it. The old is evidence. Traces of aconite, a neurotoxin that stops your heart, found on 30,000-year-old grinding stones in Italy. Why does this shatter history books? Because for decades, we assumed early humans avoided poisons at all costs. Survival 101, right? But these findings scream the opposite. They sought poison. They cooked it. They prized it. The question isn't if they ate toxins, it's why they craved death on a plate. Let's tour humanity's first danger menu. Start with fugu pufferfish. Its liver holds enough tetrodotoxin to paralyze and suffocate 30 people. Yet, in Japan, we've found 3,000-year-old middens full of fugu bones, carefully butchered to avoid the lethal organs. Ancient daredevil sushi chefs. Then there's the giant bullfrog in Namibia. Its skin oozes a chemical so toxic, touching it causes agony. But tribes like the San still roast it today after meticulous preparation. They call it chama, the fire that cleanses. But the real killers, Amazonian tribes processed cassava containing cyanide into edible flour. Siberians risked hallucinations for mad honey from rhododendron nectar. Even Stone Age Europeans ate bitter almonds packed with amygdalin, which turns into cyanide. In your gut, here's the chilling part. These weren't famine foods eaten in desperation. They required skill, time, and generational knowledge to detoxify. Our ancestors invested work to eat poison, which means they weren't just surviving. They were chasing a sensation. So why endure burning mouths, paralysis, or hallucinations? Because pain wasn't the enemy, it was the gateway. Take capsaicin and chili peppers. It triggers a fake pain signal, making your brain flood your body with endorphins, natural opioids that create euphoria. Toxins, like nicotine or solanine, in nightshades work similarly. They hijack your nervous system. A tiny dose shocks your body into releasing dopamine and adrenaline, chemicals that boost focus, numb pain, and create addictive highs. For hunter-gatherers facing brutal conditions, this wasn't recreation. It was biohacking. Consider the Kung tribe in the Kalahari. Beichuhudia cactus, which causes nausea and dizziness during long hunts. Why? Its toxins suppress appetite and thirst, letting them track prey for days without food. The poison became a tool. But the ultimate gamble, detoxifying death, processing cassava or fugu, wrong meant agonizing death. Yet tribes passed these skills for millennia. Which means the survivors, the ones who got the dose just right, gained a brutal edge. They didn't just eat poison, they mastered it. And that mastery rewired us. Let's cut to your morning ritual. That first sip of coffee. Your hands steady, focus sharpens. But 40,000 years ago, that same jolt came from chewing deadly nightshade leaves. See, caffeine and solanine are both alkaloids, chemicals plants evolved to kill predators. Yet humans sought them out. Why? Neurochemistry doesn't lie. Toxins like nicotine, capsaicin, or atropine bind to your nerve cells. This triggers a survival alarm, flooding your body with adrenaline and dopamine. Instant alertness, euphoria, pain relief. For an Ice Age hunter, this was nature's energy drink. A controlled danger that made starvation manageable. But was it deliberate? In Bolivia, researchers found 12,000-year-old arrowroot tubers packed with cyanide buried alongside detoxifying tools. No accident requires infrastructure. This was a calculated risk-reward equation. Endure poison today to hunt better tomorrow. Now imagine your tribe hasn't eaten in 4 days. You find a patch of wild potatoes. But they're bitter, screaming, "I'm full of solanine." Do you starve or gamble? Here's the brutal math. Starvation, 100% fatal in weeks. Solanine poisoning, vomiting, paralysis. But if you survive, you live to hunt again. Early humans were dose scientists. Chewing cassava releases trace cyanide enough to kill parasites. Eating toxic greens suppressed hunger. Even fugu toxin, in microdoses, creates a warming high that numbs frostbite. Proof. Residue on 9,000-year-old Turkish pots shows repeated use with water hemlock, one of Earth's deadliest plants. Yet no mass deaths. Conclusion. They'd mastered extraction rituals. Poison wasn't food's enemy, it was its secret ingredient. This is where it gets wild. Consuming poison didn't just help humans survive, it altered our genes. Take alcohol, the enzyme that breaks down booze. Most mammals can't process ethanol, but a genetic mutation let our ape ancestors eat fermented, toxic fruit, rotting on the ground. Starvation avoided. Advantage unlocked. Now fast forward, cassava-eating tribes developed mutations making them less sensitive to bitter toxins. Siberian foragers evolved liver enzymes to neutralize honey toxins. Their bodies adapted, turning poison into fuel. The smoking gun. DNA from 5,000-year-old Andean mummies reveals a mutation that helped them survive high-altitude hypoxia. How? By binding tighter to oxygen when cyanide from their cassava-rich diet attacked their blood. Poison literally reshaped them. Survival wasn't about avoiding danger, it was about hacking it. In Turkey's Karahan Tepe, a 12,000-year-old pillar shows a figure holding henbane, a hallucinogen. This wasn't graffiti, it was a resume. Early shamans monopolized toxins. Siberian poison masters alone processed fly, agaric mushrooms. Amazonian pays guarded ayahuasca recipes. Controlling poison meant controlling access to the spirit world and the tribe. But the real power move, turning pain into prestige. Teapot. New Guinea warriors drank strychnine before battle. Surviving convulsions proved ancestral protection. Japanese Inu hunters smeared aconite on their lips, a lethal dare. Poison became social currency. The more you endured, the higher your status. 30,000 years ago, an African hunter dips his arrow in desert rose sap. One scratch paralyzes prey. This was paleoengineering. Our ancestors weaponized biology. South American curare suffocated prey. African ratsbane stopped hearts. Australian gum sap caused bleeding. But the true genius, healing through harm. The Kung treated snake bites with comb-inducing bulbs. Egyptians used gangrene-causing ergot to stop bleeding. Even Socrates' hemlock was used in small doses for arthritis. Poison walked the razor's edge between medicine and murder. In the Amazon, the Warani drink ayahuasca daily. To outsiders, it's poison. To them, breakfast. Why? Generational adaptation. Toxins forced human evolution, and Indians evolved superlivers. Southeast Asians developed enzymes for rice wine. Arctic Inuit metabolized seal neurotoxins. The cost of losing mass graves. Cypriot skeletons show bone lesions from chronic ergot poisoning, a failed detox experiment. Genetic bottlenecks proved tribes who misjudged toxins vanished. This was natural selection's darkest arena. Survival favored the poisoned. That latte you're sipping. It's a 30,000-year-old poison ritual. Caffeine is an insecticide evolved to paralyze pests. Yet by 8 a.m., your brain screams for it. Why? Same receptors, same hijack. Like prehistoric shamans, caffeine triggers adrenaline, dopamine, and addictive dependency. Now bite that habanero. Capsaicin causes microtears, making your brain dump endorphins. It's not flavor you crave, it's the biochemical betrayal. Your Stone Age wiring screams, danger, release pleasure chemicals. Why pay $200 for fugu? Why join one chip challenge? Because modern life strips survival thrills. Eating poison is our last legal dare. Controlled toxicity triggers dopamine, endorphins, cortisol, the same cocktail helping Paleolithic hunters. Your DNA confuses chili peppers with mortal danger. Even health foods play the game. Kombucha's acetic acid stresses livers. Aged cheese causes cheese hangovers. Durian mimics rotting flesh. We rebranded toxins as acquired tastes. Meet the new shamans, techies, microdosing, psilocybin, gym rats, chugging pre-workout nerve irritants. Office workers mainlining neurotoxic energy drinks. The cycle continues. Cat leaves for hunts became Adderall for coding. Hallucinogens for vision quests became ketamine therapy. We're still bargaining with poisons, just with lab coats. The deepest truth. Humans didn't conquer toxins, we domesticated them. And in doing so, we domesticated ourselves. So next time you feel that coffee jolt or chili burn, remember the 40,000-year chain of poison tasters who made it possible. We didn't evolve away from toxins, we evolved through them. They shaped our genes, societies, and cravings. Poison wasn't our enemy. It was our crucible. If this twisted love affair with toxins blew your mind, smash that like button. It tells the algorithm you crave more deep dives. Subscribe for our next episode, Cannibalism, the protein they couldn't resist. And in the comments, hit me with your toxic confession. What's your poison? Coffee, chili, nicotine. Let's compare neurochemical battle scars. Stay curious. Stay alive.